There's a fish out there that's always eluded me. It's bigger and tougher than anything I've caught before. This is my 6-month quest for carp.
Whoa!
Carp fishing is a little different than fishing for other species, so I wanted to go over the gear I'm using for it. If you just want to see me catch some fish, you can skip to the next chapter at this timestamp. So you'll see that the little hook I'm using has some line that actually extends past the hook itself. This setup is called a hair rig, and that little piece of line is actually where the bait goes. Carp can be kind of picky with what they eat, so the idea behind a hair rig is that they'll suck in the food without actually feeling the hook. I'm using fake corn as a hook bait here, and I'm using a bent out hook to string it onto the hair. I also string on a little piece of twig at the end of the hair. This helps keep the hook bait from falling off. This next part of the rig is called the method feeder, or the method lead. To attract carp to your spot, it's common to chum the water where you're fishing. Those wires around the lead allow you to pack chum on and keep it in place, so that it lands right where your hook is. Speaking of chum, my pack bait is a mixture of oats, corn, and strawberry jello. As I learned, this has way too much water in it, so it's falling apart mid-cast. This is what it should look like when you have the right amount of water, and it sticks nice and tight onto that method feeder. Onto my rod, I have an ugly stick big water rod that I'm using for carp fishing. The method feeder alone is 3 ounces, and if you add on the extra hardware and the pack bait, I'm casting close to maybe 4 or 5 ounces total. Which is why it was important that I got a nice strong medium heavy power rod. This one in particular is 9 feet long and comes in 2 pieces. As for my reel, I have an Okuma Avenger ABF series reel. This is a special type of reel that has a secondary drag system, activated using the dial and switch on the bottom. This drag is used while I'm waiting for a carp to bite, and is left almost completely open. Once I have a fish on, the primary drag engages as soon as I reel in, and the fight begins. The sound of the drag isn't always enough to know if I have a fish on. That's why I have this Wixada bite alarm. I rest the rod on top of the bite alarm, and the line goes through that little slit in the top. As you heard in the intro, it's hard to miss a fish when you got a bite alarm like this one. Lastly, I also have a 42-inch sonic extractor net. This is a special landing net designed specifically for carp fishing. The size makes it look really ridiculous when you just have it out, but I am so glad I had this thing for when I actually landed my first carp. With all that said, let's get to fishing. Unfortunately, I got skunked on the attempts from March through June, so we're gonna pick it up in July.
It is a new day, and I am determined to catch a carp this time. And actually, I think I'm gonna find another spot to cast from, because this is a little bit too muddy for me to stay around in. I've decided to move a little bit downstream, and this spot looks very promising. I'm gonna start by just casting straight on. Well, maybe not that straight, but you know what I mean.
I'm allowed to have 2 lines out at once in New Hampshire, so in the meantime you'll see me use my medium rod to catch other fish.
The water's pretty shallow here, so I'm actually gonna start off with a 1/8 ounce Mepsagila. I guess a little smallmouth jumping over there.
It's coming near. Don't let it go. Fish!
Ooh, fish on! I think we got a nice little smallmouth.
That's a small one.
Well, he's small, but I can't complain. This is the first official catch that I've gotten on camera today. Let's get you back in the water, buddy. See ya. You know what? I'm gonna try this Rapala shad wrap.
It's coming near. Don't let it go. Fish!
Ooh, fish on! Looks like another smallmouth. Well, hey, from the looks of it, this one is well fed. Put up a good fight, too. I'm glad they're still biting, even in the middle of the day. Let's get you back home. This smallmouth like to hit without warning sometimes. Sometimes they follow, and sometimes they just come out of nowhere.
Fish!
Like this. This one's got some beautiful color too. Looks like he wants to, whoa, he definitely wants to head back in. So I'm gonna let him go. See ya.
Despite my efforts, didn't catch anything off the carp rod this time, but thankfully, my first catch off the carp rod is just around the corner.
I have fished here with no luck before, but the water's even lower than it was the last time I was here. I think I'm gonna finally be able to catch a common carp today. For the hook bait, I'm using fake corn, and I'm using the same old-fashioned oats, cream corn, and Jello pack bait. I think I made it better this time. I feel like the last few times I've made it a little too watery. All right, that pack bait was way easier to put on the method web. Well, here goes nothing. And starting off on the medium rod, we have a 4-inch Senko.
It's coming near. Don't let it go. Fish.
Ooh, fish on.
The hook came off.
I didn't set the hook properly. Well, hey, at least the smallmouth are here.
It's coming near. Don't let it go. Fish.
Ooh, fish on, I think. Or not. Yeah, we got a fish on. I wasn't sure at first. But yeah, we got our first catch of the evening. Oh, look at that, nice. All right, first catch of the night, a nice smallmouth bass. Woo! All right, and he's gone.
It's coming near. Don't let it go. Fish.
Ooh, fish on. All right, gotta tighten the drag a little bit here. Nice! Oh, he shook off the Senko! Alright, so smallmouth number 2 also thinks I'm made of soft plastic. Well, thankfully I have plenty of Senkos. Thanks for the fun, buddy. Let's get you back in the water.
It's coming near. Don't let it go. Fish.
Ooh, fish on, fish on, fish on. Let's see what we got. Ooh, he's fighting. Ooh, that looks like a good sized smallmouth. Oh, he's also got some weeds on him. Yeah, all right. Now this is a nice sized smallie. I'd say this one's probably around a pound or so. All right, let's get you back in the water.
It was at this point that I decided to reel in my carp rod to rebait my rig and noticed that something was on my line.
I think I might have something. It feels real heavy. Why didn't the alarm go off? Also, is this a carp? I think I got a fish though. Oh, wow. Well, it's a new species for me.
I had no idea what this thing was when I landed it, but I've since been able to identify it as my first white catfish. If you want to learn more, I made a whole video about it that you can check out.
Oh, also, look at his big tummy. You know what this is from? He ate all my pack bait. Well, at least you're well fed. Let's get you back in the water. Off you go.
Even though it wasn't a carp, it still felt good to have some success with my carp rig, and this catch was just the beginning.
Good morning. Will today be the day? I came down to Massachusetts to find out. And to get a little more distance, there's a nice little deck here I can cast from.
Soon enough, I had another fish on the carp rod, and the alarm went off this time.
All right, I just got a bite on the carp rod. Let's see what we got. I'm not feeling anything now. Oh, there we go. We got something. We got something. I am not sure what it is. Ah, not a carp. Could this be a new species? Yeah, this fish right here is my first ever channel catfish. And look at that belly. That is full of pack bait. He had a good meal today. All right, well, thank you, buddy, for being my first ever channel catfish. Bite alarm just went off again. Let's see what we got. So I think it might be another channel catfish. There we go. It's actually, this is feeling a little heavier. Yep. You look like the same one I just caught. I'm here for carp fishing, not catfish. But one thing I will say that I'm very pleased with is you can see the hair rig is working exactly as intended. That hook is hooking it right on the corner of the mouth as it tries to take in that fake corn. Hey, if you got any carp buddies, send them this way, all right? I'm back in the water.
Unfortunately, that catfish didn't have any carp buddies, and I didn't catch anything else that day either. But after 6 months of attempts, many of which I've cut out for your sake, my luck finally began to turn around.
I have tried this spot before at the beginning of the year, actually before I started my YouTube channel, but it was too early in the year. I'm feeling confident. I think we're gonna land a carp today. Enough talking, let's get to fishing.
In case you didn't know, there's a lot of downtime with carp fishing. I usually wait 20 to 30 minutes before rebaiting and casting again, which is why I was especially excited to see this on my rod.
I think something's going on the line there. Maybe the bite alarm didn't go off and it's a catfish. Nothing. Huh. I am gonna cast that exactly where I cast it before, or at least I'll try. Here we go.
Finally, after 6 months of failed attempts, the moment I had been waiting for arrived. A carp hit my bait hard.
Alarm just went off. Whoa! Whoa! All right, we got one! Woohoo! Oh, look at that! Okay. This is definitely a carp. This is unlike any other fish I've caught. Okay. Carp line, carp line. Look at that run. Look at that. Whoa. Okay. Easy now. Whoa. All right, I gotta tighten this up a little bit. This is something else. This is exactly what I was hoping for out of a fish though. This is exactly why I wanted to target carp. Alright. Nice and easy. Nah. Alright, don't run over there. Oh, jeez. This thing is fighting so hard. Oh my goodness. Come on now. Don't get caught up there. Come on. Oh. Oh, he's still right. He's still fighting with it here. Come on. Oh, there we go. I gotta make sure I have the net ready too. This thing is big. Oh. My hand is kind of getting tired. I didn't really prepare for this. Oh. There we go. Come on. There we go, I see him. Oh, whoa, that thing is huge. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay now. All right, gotta get the net now. You hold still. Come on. Almost there. Oh my gosh. All right, come on. Come on. Let's go. Let's go in the net. Yep. Oh, come on. Almost there, almost there. Just a little bit closer. You can tell this is not my... Oh, jeez. Come on. Gotcha. Oh.
That's super big.
Oh. Oh, this thing's so heavy. Wow. What a massive fish. This right here is my first ever common carp. The hair rake worked exactly as intended and hooked him right on the corner of the mouth.
This carp is easily the largest fish I've ever caught. It measured in at 31 inches long and weighed a whopping 18.7 pounds. I did weigh it in a tarp, so the actual weight's probably closer to 18 pounds or upper 17 pounds. But in any case, I've never caught anything nearly this big before.
Well, I'm gonna get this guy back in the water now. Hey, thank you so much for being my first ever common carp. This thing is huge. Wow. All right. Nice easy release now, buddy. Thanks for the fun. Off he goes. Wow. That was incredible. The sun's going down. I did cast a few more times with the carp rod. No other action, but you know what? That is a-okay with me. I have had more action today than I think I've ever had fishing. Even though I only caught one fish, that carp was a behemoth. Without doubt, the biggest fish I've ever caught. And as ridiculous as it looks, I sure am glad I had this massive carp net for it too. This was the first carp I've caught, but I am certain it won't be my last. I am totally gonna try doing more carp fishing. If you're interested in trying to catch a carp for yourself, I highly recommend it.
Before wrapping up, I want to give a big thanks to Outside with Tom. His channel basically taught me everything I know about carp fishing. I put a link to it in the description if you want to learn about catching carp yourself. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what video you'd like to see next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.